What's up, guys? I'm Kyle, also known as the Pandman. In today's video, I'm gonna give you 5 different ways to develop gorilla-like grip strength. Why would you invest in spending time to train your grip? Let me tell you a few reasons. Grip training is something I got into a long time ago, really because I knew I could unlock a lot more strength from my nervous system. Now, how does that make sense? You ever look at an anatomy chart? Look at all the nerve endings that are in the hands. Your hands and your feet are so tied in because we do so many things with them to your brain and your nervous system. The more grip strength you have, the more you unlock your nervous system as far as strength potential. This is what I've seen throughout the years. When I opened my first gym, the actual first facility in 2011, at the time, I was probably benching like 315. And then I said, okay, the next couple months, the only difference I'm gonna make with my training, I'm gonna use fat grips, right? So I'll show you guys fat grips a little bit later in today's video. I'm gonna use fat grips on everything. So I did that. And my bench press went up 50 pounds just from getting my grip stronger those couple months. And there was nothing else specific I was doing for bench. I wasn't doing extra bench work or anything like that. So I unlocked all this strength. Now your grip is a lot of times the weakest link, and you are only as strong as your weakest link. Let's say that you can have the potential to deadlift 500 pounds. Your grip strength can only hold 400 pounds. Guess how much you can deadlift? 400 pounds. So you're missing out. The other thing I always tell people with grip, it can save your life. Now I say that half jokingly and half not though. There's actually different research that shows the stronger the grip strength, the longer you live. But on the flip side, as far as saving your life in the immediate, let's say somebody comes up to you and they start choking you from behind. Well, if you can get your grip and get it strong enough to pull down and not close off your windpipe or your carotid arteries, that's a great thing. Let's say you're in a scenario where you gotta hang on to something or you gotta hang on to somebody. It's your grip strength, guys. It can save your life. So those are the important reasons of why I believe you should train your grip. So now let's get into some different exercises that you can use as a beginner all the way through advanced to start building the gorilla-like vice grip. On your grip. The first is your more traditional. This is a Captains of Crush. I got this years ago. I keep 2 of these in my truck, and when I'm driving a lot of the times, I'm working on my grip. So you have different levels of these, right? You have different levels of difficulty. So again, novice all the way through advanced. So let's say you get 15 to 20 reps, and then you go back and forth. Great way to stimulate your mind too, especially if you're getting tired just from the monotony of driving. Let's say you're taking a long road trip. So you'd hit both sides within that. Now this is, a gentleman sent me, this is the Dynamo by a company called Gripzilla. They sent this to me from Instagram. I've been playing around with this the past week. Really cool tool. And I would not tell you guys to get something if I didn't think it was cool or useful. So you can dial up the difficulty, but remember the old school wrist rollers, right? Where you'd have a string or a chain. We have some here at Newell Strength where you kind of roll up and then come back the other way and hit it. So with this, it's mimicking the same thing, right? So I want to make that a little more difficult, dial that up. And I've been bringing this to the kids' games. And when I'm sitting there, guess what I'm doing? Take this out, I'll get 30 reps one way, 30 reps the other way. So 2 great tools you can throw in your bag, keep in your car, keep in your truck, and you're good to go. But this makes me also think of, guys, with your grip strength, think of your hands and your fingers, and think of all the muscles of the forearm. Now, you don't need to know all the little different muscles of the forearm. Something I figured out long ago to simplify things is you have your extensors. I'll go over that in another video for you, how to really train the top side more effectively. And then your flexors, right? And this is the way most people would train grip, some type of movement like that. We want to work everything. But when you're using this roller, when I'm coming back, like if I just kept my left hand stable and I didn't twist it at all, and I just come back almost like I'm getting ready to ride my motorcycle, I'm hitting the top part of that forearm. So those are 2 great little tools that I highly recommend if you want to build up your grip strength. Another handy tool, these are fat grips. So you can buy thick-handled dumbbells or barbells. It gets very pricey. Economically, it's not the best decision for most people. But these fat grips were created, I don't know, let's say 12, 13 years ago. I remember when they came out, I was so excited. And these guys just attach, I'm gonna show you, right to dumbbells or a barbell or a pull-up bar. So these blue ones are actually the brand or the model that I used When I told you that summer when my bench press went up 50 pounds, I use these on everything. Everything that these can apply to, I use them. So you got the blue ones, and then you have the orange ones, much bigger circumference, as you can see. So these are a completely different animal. They're gonna work it differently. So let me show you how to utilize these. Now, when you put these on, you open them up, put them right onto the barbell. Now, here's a key thing. When you're gripping these, the slit where it opens up, you want that pointed towards your palm. So I want that up, and I will grip like so. And I can do barbell holds or whatnot. Now, if you do like a lot of people, and you keep that seam at the bottom, what might happen, and I've seen it happen, people start grabbing onto that ledge, trying to get extra grip, and you can open that up. We don't want that. So you keep the seam towards your hand. Now, if we're using these on dumbbells, now these orange guys are a little bit harder to open up. Let's say I'm here, right? You gotta really kind of pry it open. Now, these aren't gonna fit. Actually, these ones fit all the way around here, but same thing. I want the seam facing up, okay? And you can see, guys, if you look at my hand, something I always notice with grip training, when I'm doing it correctly, my hand gets discolored. For me, it turns white, right? And I know that I'm working all these muscles of the hand when I do that. But that's an exercise you can do, is fat grip dumbbell holds. You can just do regular dumbbell holds for time. Fat grip, another great essential tool that you could put in your arsenal for building up those man hands that you're after. Hanging, right? I think this is an essential movement for human beings. It's so simple. Hopefully it's something you did as a kid at the playground or climbing trees, but it's as simple as it sounds. You know, get up, right? And this is just a basic hang on a pull-up bar. Get your feet off the ground, and then you hang. Now, a couple key components for this. You're working your grip to the extreme, and when you come down, you're getting a lot of traction within the shoulder. And if that's compacted too much from too much repetition or injury, this is a great thing. I like to tell people when they're doing hangs, pretend you're hanging off the edge of a cliff or your children's life depends on it, because this gets uncomfortable. I would say you start at 20 to 30 seconds and then you build up. You start getting up to a minute on these, that's the real deal. You're gonna feel that. Now, another simple exercise, get at 45 for most of you. Keep the lip. You're not holding handles on these. That would kind of circumvent what we're actually trying to do. So my fingers are here, if you look. Right? My thumb is on this side, and I would just hold these for time. So this is a great thing. Now, if you're doing these over your feet, just be mindful if you have to drop it, that you don't smash your toes. You could do some serious damage with that. But plate holds are a great exercise. There's a lot of stuff we can do with the plates. I'll show you in future videos as far as training your grip. Last thing I'll tell you guys, for grip, when you're training grip, and once I get into the mallet drill down the road with you guys, so tied into your nervous system, when you start using both hands and you start developing them, even stuff like cursive handwriting, I can actually write better with my left hand than my right hand now. You get something called steroidogenesis, right? Because of how you're using the hands and engaging the nervous system, and output of anabolic hormones. Michael Avery has a whole book and program on this, which is really fascinating. If you want to change your body, look no further than your hands.